welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So we are having a slow and fun morning so far. It's actually 2 p.m. now, so we're kind of, like I said, we're getting a slow start to our day, but those blueberry pancakes were so worth it. I was telling Justin, we don't do blueberries in our pancakes enough. That was such a treat. And we just had some blueberries that we needed to eat, so I threw them in our pancakes, and I'm like, normally when we do pancakes, we just do plain pancakes, and I was like, we need to do blueberries in our pancakes more often, because that was amazing. And I just so happened to have some blueberry jam that I got at Aldi's Lidl's last time we were there. And I just kind of mixed that in with the leftover blueberries that I had to make that topping, and it was just on point. So I've got my list here of some things that I would like to get done, but I am also reminding myself to slow down today. There's been several times this morning when I'm like making the bed or getting the dishes done or whatever, where I'm like, I should be further along today. I should have woken up earlier today, and just kind of having those feelings. And I'm like, no, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to do. And whatever happens with the day, happens with the day. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. There is no should. So that's a habit that I've been trying to break lately. And I know that that's something that pops into my head, like I should be further along, or I should be doing this or whatever. And I'm like, that's definitely a habit that I want to break. So being easy on myself today, but also having my list to help me out. So I definitely need to fold a load of laundry, and the kids tried to pull an all-nighter, which is another reason why I slept in so late. The kids, they woke me up at 3 a.m. and I'm not even that mad about it, because I did that as a kid too. Like, you're having fun with your siblings, you're trying to pull an all-nighter, you know, but they woke me up. So my goal today is to get them ready for bed tonight. So the fun thing that we're gonna do today is tie-dye some shirts. I thought that would be fun for them. So hopefully they'll be ready for bed tonight. Maybe we can spend a lot of time outside, even though it is not kind of hot. It's extremely hot outside, so I'm sure we'll be coming in and out a lot today, but that is my plan. I also need to water the garden, of course. I actually skipped yesterday, so I really need to get out there as soon as possible. And then, I've got some lavender that I want to kind of break up. It's already pretty much dried, so I just want to like break it up and put it into a mason jar. So that's on my list of things that I want to do today. And I also have washing the bedding for our guest bedroom, because we're gonna have guests come over for the 4th of July. So I know that I need to get that ready. But that's one thing that I'm like, don't push yourself. Like, that can be done another day, because the day that I'm filming this is June 28th. So I technically have not quite a week, but I've got some time before that can be done. So because we're getting started so late today, that might be one thing that I just give myself some grace on and say, we don't do that today. But yeah, I think that's it. Another thing that I'm not doing today is I was gonna go shopping for flowers for the back porch. There's like a bald spot in one of my planters, and so I wanted to fill that before we have guests over for the 4th of July. But because it is so extremely hot, I'm a little bit worried to plant new flowers in there. And on the 1st, it'll be a lot cooler than it's gonna be through the weekend. And so, or not a lot cooler, but cooler. I think the real feel today is 104, and on that day, on the 1st, it's supposed to be like 98, so it's cooler. But I just want to get that filled, but I don't think the right decision is to do that when it's this extremely hot. So I want to give the flowers the best chance I can to survive out there, so I think that's another thing I'm just gonna hold off and not do today. again, and we're gonna have some cheesy tacos today. So what I'm gonna do for that is brown this ground beef, and then I've got some Velveeta cheese here. So I'm just gonna chop this up, get that going in with the meat. Also some diced tomatoes and green chilies, basically rotel. And just combine all that together, and then I'm gonna see if Justin will throw these on the Blackstone. That way I don't have to cook them up, but it's just corn tortillas here. Basic, super simple dinner, but that's what we're doing tonight. I also forgot to mention, I'm gonna put in a pack of taco seasoning in with this meat. And this is our can of rotel. I have drained this. And I've chopped up half of the block of Velveeta cheese, and I'm just gonna see what that does. That might be all we need, but I gotta wait and see, like once it's melted, how cheesy we're gonna want it. And I'm gonna put this lid on and get some steam going in there. So that looks cheesy enough for me. I was gonna let you guys know there's 16 ounces in the box that I got, so we only ended up using 8 ounces of Velveeta. So the tacos were amazing. Doing your tacos like that seriously makes it taste like a Crunchwrap Supreme from Taco Bell. So definitely give it a try. But now we are going to start tie-dyeing some shirts. And I was gonna show you guys our kit we got off of Amazon. It looks like this. And it comes with lots of different colors. You just fill these up with water. And then it comes with plastic gloves, your rubber bands, instructions of course. You also get some cloths to lay down, but we actually might put down our drop cloth that we have too. And then it comes with 4 shirts. But what we're gonna need to do is wash these first, or at least wet them. So I'm just gonna wet them and then wring them out, because the instructions say that you don't want them to be really wet, just damp is best. So we're gonna get these wet, fill this up with water, and then start tie-dyeing our shirts. Okay, so I'm demonstrating to Ross how to make a bullseye and like how to fold it up if you want that pattern on there. So I figured I'd turn the camera on and kind of show you guys too. So for a bullseye, you want to just lay it out flat. Get it all the way laid out, okay? Then you're gonna grab it in the middle and pick it straight up. So once you've grabbed it in the middle, just kind of twist around and you'll start adding rubber bands on. So this is gonna be your top. Here's some rubber bands. So I'm just gonna tie it off here.
We don't need these gloves yet, I just realized that.
Give it a twist. And then tie it off again. You can take your gloves off while you're tying it up. And then twist again. Tie it. And I might do one more down here. machine is going, but I put our tie-dye shirts in here. I did 2 4th of July shirts, so they're gonna be red, white, and blue for the kids to wear on the 4th of July. And then they did just their fun tie-dye shirts, like whatever colors they wanted. And so we have to wait 8 to 12 hours to be able to check on them. So we'll check back on them tomorrow.
Seven. 44.
Let's do some garden talk since we just finished that up. I wanted to let you guys know I took up the mystery plant because some people were saying it is a cowpea plant and that's not something that humans tend to eat. So we took it out because it was just gonna take over the garden. So ended up doing that. Also, I picked our cucumbers, so I was going to show you guys what they look like. They're very quirky, and we actually are on a Facebook garden page for our area. I feel like gardening is so regional, and so that has helped a lot because a lot of people will take pictures of their produce and then they will ask questions. So we're seeing a lot of things, a lot of problems that we are also having. So one thing is, y'all know that our squash will grow in hollows sometimes, and I ended up bringing it onto the back porch because I thought that it was a pollination issue. But we're still seeing some grow in hollow. We have been able to get a few out of it, but we're still seeing some that grow in hollow. But the thing is, that happens before it's even time to be pollinated because you'll see them so little and the flower hasn't even opened up yet, and you'll see it the next day will just be hollow inside. And so people are saying it's the heat, and I think that that has to be true. And then also our cucumbers look like water balloons basically, and I'm wondering if this is also because of the heat, because that's what a few people on the Facebook page have been saying. So they're saying that it's their version of bolting. And a lot of people were saying that their radishes were all talk, no action, basically. They would get green on the top, but then nothing would happen on the bottom. And that's what happened with ours too. We ended up with 4 radishes that were I keep getting smaller and smaller. They were probably about that big. So, and we planted I don't know, maybe 30 of them and ended up with 4. And then it was just strings, roots, basically, that should have been radishes, and they said that that is their version of bolting as well. And bolting is an issue that I had back in the fall when I started the garden. I had some broccolini out there and some romaine lettuce, and they bolted. I think that's, oh, and I think our kale bolted as well. And so bolting happens when it gets too hot. And that is an issue that I'm having. And I think, well, I was about to say, I think it's the greenhouse, but we're still having that issue with the plants on the back porch. I think it's just extreme heat this year. And that has to be what's going on. So I'm trying to brainstorm. I feel like it might be too late to make any changes this year, although it stays hot through like October. It starts to cool down in like end of October here, like, or early November. So I do still have a good bit left in the season. The reason why we have a greenhouse is because we have so many deer in our yard and rabbits. If you guys missed that video, we actually had rabbits living in our greenhouse. Like a mama rabbit had 4 babies just hiding out in our greenhouse, and they didn't eat anything, so that was crazy, but they're gone now. But we've also seen a lot of deer in our yard as well. I don't want to get rid of those. I don't want to do anything to deter them away because I love seeing the wildlife in our yard. And so but that's the reason why we have the greenhouse. It's not really to keep things warm or anything. It's to protect it because they will eat anything they can get their hands on. I have some flowers up at the like front porch, but like they're down on the steps. They'll eat those, but they won't climb up the steps to eat anything. So I'm thinking next year, and I don't know yet, but I was kind of brainstorming with Justin. I'm like, next year I gotta come up with a better plan. So I'm thinking I make that area where the greenhouse is like a flower garden, and maybe, no, they do eat flowers because they ate flowers by the front porch. So I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing, but I think next year I might just have to, number one, start earlier because I really started later when it comes to like planting my stuff. So these are the first cucumbers we've been able to grab, and so it's kind of late in the season. So I wish I had started earlier. That's one thing that I'll do next year. And another thing I'll do next year, I'm thinking, is I will put some planters on the back porch, maybe like some raised garden beds, and do all of my gardening on the back porch. I just don't want to fill up my back porch with a lot of stuff, but that might be my only option because I do enjoy gardening and it's not working out over there. Another idea that I've had is to maybe just build a bigger fence and a fence that has better netting around it or something. That might be the better option. I've still got time to brainstorm, but that's what we're dealing with. And they say that cucumbers like this, that kind of grow in like a water balloon, this is bolting, and they might be more bitter. So I don't really have a reason to cut these open right now and eat them, but I'm just curious. So I think I'm gonna cut this one open, even though this one's fatter. But I think I'm gonna cut this one open and just give it a try because I'm interested to see if it is more bitter or if they're okay and they just look quirky. So I know that our squash was amazing, and we are having that, you know, growing in hollow issue there, and our squash got really big and it tasted amazing. So maybe they just look weird and they taste great. So we're about to find out. I just cut the tip off. And it smells so good. I cannot wait to give this a try.
Let me smell that.
The kids want to try some too. Here, you can eat
Oh,
that
that
one.
is the cucumber smell.
It is. It's like a great cucumber smell, like fresh cucumbers. Oh, it is bitter.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying better. I was hanging on to that hope, but yeah, you're right.
I would eat them in a salad, but
Man.
I don't mind them.
Well, that's disappointing. I wonder if Bailey would like it, because he does like cucumbers. Bailey, Do you want to try a cucumber?
You like what? Really?
Here. Oh, he is eating it. He took one bite out of it and left the rest. He's like, no. So I was gonna show you guys my cozy hygge setup that I did yesterday. I sat right here yesterday and I had, oh, is it playtime? Oh, hang on, give me just 1 minute. But I had Alice in Wonderland on and Snow White, like the old Disney movies. And I was basically just listening to it and had this outside view. 1 minute, baby. And anyway, it's just been too hot to sit outside. And I love sitting outside, but I had to like do the best with what I had. So I set this up. And now I've kind of got like a view of outside. I can put my feet up, but these chairs are normally turned this way, but I just turned them that way so we could just like have the view and just kind of vibe in here. But I guess I better play with you. Yeah? Oh boy. This is his new favorite toy. If you guys missed that shopping video, I got this for him when we were shopping. And it's been the favorite. Yes. Oh boy. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hello again, guys. I wanted to keep this video going into the next day. That way I could show y'all the finished product of the tie-dye shirt. So I'm about to show that to you guys now, but we've had a good, slow start to our morning again. We actually did pancakes again because it was so good yesterday, but this time we did chocolate chip pancakes because we were all out of blueberries. So we did chocolate chip pancakes, and that was a little too sweet for me. Like, I haven't done chocolate chip pancakes in a while, and I was like, whew, wish we had blueberries because that was my favorite. But we took Bailey on a car ride this morning as well. I feel like we haven't been doing our walks with him as much because it's just been so hot. The theme of this video is it's just been so hot. But I was kind of feeling bad about that because I could tell he wanted to do something yesterday, and we did do our playtime yesterday. There's a hummingbird, right? I wish I had caught that, but it was like right outside the window. Anyway, squirrel, sidetracked, but so I could tell he wanted to do some things yesterday, and so I was like, we're gonna take you on a car ride tomorrow morning, buddy. So he enjoyed that, and I enjoyed that too. I always enjoy just going on car rides, and I actually had a fun summer idea while we were in the car. I remembered one summer we actually ended up like camping out in the back of our car. Not in the car, but we had like a Toyota 4Runner at the time. This was back when we lived in our trailer. And so we camped out in that, and I was like, that would be really fun to do with the kids. Like, we just did it in our backyard. So I'm thinking we might try to do that pretty soon. But anyway, speaking of things to do this summer, I ended up writing down tie-dye shirts on our list because that was such a fun summer memory. And if you missed the last video, this is a reverse summer bucket list. So we're just writing down our memories instead of writing down things that we want to get to this summer. And then, because, you know, life happens, you end up with a bunch of boxes that you didn't get to check off and a bunch of things that you did, but still, I just want to have like a list of summer memories this time. And so I wrote down tie-dyeing shirts on here. And then another thing that I didn't film yesterday because it was just such a fun, intimate, special moment for Justin and I, but it was like 1 a.m. and we went outside and stargazed, and it was just so special and had like a really good talk while we were out there and stuff. So I put stargazing down, and that's just another thing that I feel like, you know, I typically probably wouldn't have put on a summer bucket list, but because it just happens, like a lot of things on here, it was just something that happened, and I'm like, oh, such a special memory. I want to write that down. So anyway, I have that on the list too, but let me show you guys our tie-dye shirts. So this is one of the 4th of July shirts. Look how cool that turned out. I kind of wish the red was a little more red. I think it faded a little bit and kind of turned orange. And we did this around 3 p.m. yesterday, and I put them in the washing machine around 9:30 this morning. So, I mean, they sat there for a good while, soaking up all of that paint, but I think it still turned out really cute. And the other one looks like this. Very fun. So I think the kids will enjoy wearing those on the 4th of July. And then Ross's ended up looking like this. And then Julie's, hers is like very bright, like neon almost. I feel like it almost like blurs out on camera because it's so bright, but that is how hers turned out. But such a fun thing to do. We did this last summer as well and had so much fun doing it. I definitely wanted to do that this summer too. I feel like it'll be like a summer tradition for us to always do some tie-dye shirts. But anyway, I have the bedding washing in the washing machine now for the guest bedroom. So that is something that I'm getting to today. And I'm wanting to make some sourdough. I'll probably get it started this evening and actually bake it tomorrow. So you guys probably won't get to see the finished product of that, but at least I'm getting it going. And I've actually never like put dough in the refrigerator, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but people say that it's okay. Like, I think you're supposed to let it rise first, like go ahead, do the whole process, get it in the loaf pans, and then you can put it in the refrigerator and just bake it the next day. So that is my plan, is to get them into loaves by the end of the day and then into the refrigerator. That way I can bake them tomorrow. But yeah, just doing the bedding and getting some sourdough going, and I'm going to paint today because I didn't get to do that yesterday, just ran out of time, and I went to bed feeling like I wish I had gotten to paint something today. So I was like, I have to make that a priority to paint something today just for me. So that's the plan today. printing. I ended up tweaking it a little bit. Let me show you guys. This was the inspiration picture, and as you can see, she doesn't have anything in her basket. Mine has stuff in the basket because I made my basket a little bit too big, and I'm like, well, let's just fill it. So we put a baguette in there because she's from France, and some red roses because it's Beauty and the Beast. And I also put some books in here and some like little white flowers too. But I love it. I think it looks super cute. I wish I could have gotten, you know, the grass a little bit better, but we're still learning things, so not bad. I actually really like it. So anyway, let me show you guys my sourdough starter. It has doubled, so we're gonna go ahead and get this going.